Don't you dare say it! Jackpot!
Hey there, marvelous gamers. This is your host, Richard. Get ready to swing your swords and unleash some fury as we explore the top 32 hack-and-slash games of PS3, the beloved console that truly delivered some of the most epic slash-fests in gaming history. Whether you're a fan of slicing through demonic hordes or chopping up mythical beasts, the PS3 had it all, turning every gaming session into an adrenaline-pumping, button-mashing extravaganza. So, sharpen your blades and join us as we count down the crème de la crème of hack-and-slash games that made the PS3 the legendary console it is today. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. God of War 3. God of War 3 really cranks up the epic with its plot exploring into ancient Greece where revenge fuels the ex-God of War, Kratos. Betrayed by Zeus, his own father, Kratos reignites a massive war, battling gods and monsters alike as he scales Mount Olympus. He's not just out for blood, he's on a quest to open Pandora's box to finally squash Zeus's reign and settle his score. Gameplay-wise, well, if you loved the previous installments, you're in for a treat. Kratos slashes through enemies with his trusty Blades of Exile, enhanced by magical attacks and a host of deadly weapons picks up along the way. It's filled with intense combat, challenging puzzles and acrobatic platforming that keeps you on your toes. Quick time events add that extra flair during boss fights, making each victory feel monumentally satisfying. As a hack-and-slash experience on the PS3, God of War 3 is simply a masterpiece. It's not just about hacking away at enemies, but also about experiencing Kratos' journey through beautifully dark scenic designs and bone-crunching combat. The game's graphics were groundbreaking at its release, pushing the PS3 to its limits to render detailed character models and expansive landscapes. All these elements make it not just good, but a great hack-and-slash game, giving players both the style and the substance of ancient mythological warfare. Dark Souls. Dark Souls takes players into a grim medieval fantasy world where every corner hides danger. Set in the decaying kingdom of Lordran, players embody a cursed undead hero who embarks on a harrowing quest to discover the fate of others like them. The story is subtly woven through environmental cues and cryptic dialogues with NPCs, compelling players to piece together the lore themselves. This game's renowned for its punishing yet rewarding gameplay. Players navigate this third-person action RPG by battling ferocious knights, dragons, and demons, using a mix of weapons and magic. Death in Dark Souls is not merely a setback, but a core mechanic. Dying means losing all carried souls, which serve as both currency and experience points. However, these can be retrieved if players can make it back to their place of death without dying again. The game's interconnected world encourages exploration, with bonfires scattered throughout serving as crucial checkpoints. Dark Souls stands out as one of the top hack-and-slash games for the PS3 due to its intricate level design, deep combat system, and the sheer sense of achievement it offers. Its innovative online features, like seeing ghosts of other players and leaving helpful messages, integrate a sense of community and shared struggle. The game's influence is so profound that it spawned the Souls-like genre, emphasizing strategic combat, high difficulty, and consequential death mechanics. These elements combine to make Dark Souls not just a game, but an experience that tests and hones your skills at every turn.
I said clear the road! We're authorized to use force if you do!
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance rockets you into a futuristic, chaotic world as Raiden, a katana-wielding cyborg slicing through enemies to keep peace. Set 4 years after Metal Gear Solid 4, Raiden battles a nefarious private military company, Desperado, which profits by stirring global conflicts. This high-stakes plot sets the stage for Raiden's intense journey fraught with moral and physical battles, underlining his transformation from a soldier to a one-man army against corruption. The gameplay here is fiercely action-packed, focusing primarily on swordplay. Unlike the traditional stealth-centric Metal Gear games, players wield Raiden's high-frequency blade to slice through enemies and objects with precision using the innovative Blade mode. This mode allows you to slow time and meticulously dissect foes or obstacles in a ballet of metal and mayhem. This cutting system isn't just for show, it's integral, letting players strategically dismember adversaries to pilfer parts and health. Besides this, Raiden can parry attacks from any direction, adding a layer of skill to confrontations and making combat intensely rewarding. As a hack-and-slash game on the PS3, PS3, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance stands out with its hyper-stylized action and fluid combat mechanics. It shakes up the gritty Metal Gear universe with Platinum Games' flair for over-the-top action, delivering a game that's both visually spectacular and satisfying to play. The ability to interact with almost every environmental element through cutting adds a unique tactical depth, making it not just a good but a phenomenal entry in the hack-and-slash genre.
Made in a single night with powerful magic. It is a dangerous place, replete with traps. It bars entry to all who would dare.
Dragon's Crown. Dragon's Crown throws players into the mystical kingdom of Hydeland, where adventurers hunt for the legendary Dragon's Crown, a magical artifact with the power to control dragons. This rich narrative sets a vibrant backdrop for epic quests and monstrous confrontations, weaving a tale filled with political intrigue and ancient mythology. In terms of gameplay, Dragon's Crown cocktails classic side-scrolling action with the depth of an RPG, allowing players to choose from 6 distinct character classes, each offering a unique playstyle. Whether you're swinging a sword as the burly knight or casting spells as the cunning sorceress, the game keeps things fresh with expansive skill trees and dynamic combat mechanics. The dungeons are intricate, filled with hidden paths and loot, making each run a new adventure, especially as you unlock harder difficulties and explore deeper into the game's rich environments. What really cements Dragon's Crown as a top hack-and-slash game for the PS3 is how lush the hand-drawn art is, and how well it goes with intensely satisfying combat mechanics. Each of the 6 character classes, from the mighty warrior to the cunning sorceress, brings a unique style to the battlefield, ensuring the combat never feels stale. You're constantly challenged to refine your skills and strategies, especially as the game ramps up in difficulty and the dungeons grow more perilous.
I was wrong.
Darksiders II. Darksiders II picks up in a tumultuous universe where Death rides out to clear his brother War's name, who's blamed for humanity's destruction. Death's quest takes him across realms filled with ancient powers and dark secrets, where he seeks the Tree of Life to restore Earth and vindicate his brother. The stakes are high as Death navigates through a world teetering between ruin and redemption, facing both celestial and infernal forces. The gameplay's a kick-ass addition of hack-and-slash action and role-playing, offering players explorable realms both on foot and atop Death's steed, Despair. Combat is fluid, with Death wielding dual scythes and an array of secondary weapons for diverse melee tactics. The game also incorporates intricate puzzle-solving scenarios that complement its intense combat, requiring players to use wit and skill to progress. Each dungeon and open-world area provides unique challenges and enemies, including epic boss fights that test both combat prowess and strategic thinking. As a hack-and-slash title on the PS3, Darksiders II slays, as Gen Z would say, by providing an engaging mix of fast-paced action and super-cool storytelling. The game's expansive world design and the seamless integration of RPG mechanics with action-oriented gameplay make it a standout in the genre. Players are drawn into a richly crafted storyline with visceral combat and complex puzzle elements, making it a memorable experience on the platform. Bayonetta. Bayonetta, launched in 2009, kicks off with a blast into the urban fantasy realm where the titular character, a sassy, gun-toting witch. The plot revolves around her quest to uncover the mysteries of her past and save the future, armed with her iconic pistols and hair that transforms into deadly weapons. The story's filled with high-octane action and a stylish, over-the-top attitude that's as enchanting as it is exhilarating. The gameplay in Bayonetta is a spectacular showcase of the hack-and-slash genre, enhanced by fluid, dynamic combat systems that encourage creative destruction. Players engage in fast-paced battles using a combination of melee attacks and gunplay, executing complex combos with cinematic flair. The combat's made even more intense by Witch Time, a mechanic that rewards players' reflexes with slow-motion moments, allowing Bayonetta to unleash devastating counterattacks. As a PS3 title, Bayonetta earned an honor for its impeccable design and execution. It melds a visually stunning style with a combat system that's both accessible and deep. The game's responsiveness and the variety of enemies and bosses make every fight feel fresh and engaging. Coupled with a charismatic protagonist, Bayonetta delivers an unforgettable hack-and-slash experience that's both challenging and rewarding, making it a definitive game in its genre on the platform. Ninja Gaiden Sigma II. Ninja Gaiden Sigma II picks up the thrilling adventures of Ryu Hayabusa, a ninja warrior seeking to clear his clan's name and save the world from impending doom. The game builds on the story of Ninja Gaiden 2, incorporating 3 new chapters that spotlight alternative characters, Ayane, Momiji, and Rachel, each bringing their unique backstory and skills to the intense narrative. The plot dives deep into mythic conflicts, spicing up traditional ninja lore with supernatural elements for a high-stakes drama. Speaking of the gameplay in the game, it's a refined version of its predecessor, enhancing the classic hack-and-slash formula with vibrant graphics and smoother controls. It offers new large-scale bosses and an online cooperative mode, adding depth and variety to the combat sequences. The inclusion of 3 playable female characters alongside Ryu enriches the gameplay experience with diversified fighting styles and perspectives, making each playthrough uniquely challenging. As a hack-and-slash game on the PS3, Ninja Gaiden Sigma II excels due to its fast-paced, action-packed combat system and its dramatic use of an enhanced graphical engine that delivers 720p resolution. The game is revered for its detailed textures and aesthetic improvements, ensuring that each battle is both visually striking and strategically demanding. Coupled with the expanded narrative and gameplay tweaks, Ninja Gaiden Sigma II stands out as a must-play title for fans of the genre. X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition. X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition turns a potentially cliché movie tie-in into a roaring rampage that not only surpasses expectations, but also delivers the Wolverine game fans have been craving. The plot digs into Wolverine's gritty backstory, exploring his time with Stryker and Sabretooth, leading up to his quest for vengeance. It's an adrenaline-pumping journey that perfectly sets the stage for the carnage to unfold. Gameplay in X-Men Origins Wolverine is a brutally satisfying hack-and-slash experience. The game doesn't just let you play as Wolverine, it lets you become Wolverine, with the ability to perform gruesomely detailed executions and use your environment to your lethal advantage. Every fight feels visceral and vividly violent. The game's combat system is straightforward but effective, allowing for a fluid mix of light and heavy attacks that can be strung into deadly combos, all while showcasing Wolverine's regenerative capabilities in gory detail. As a PS3 title, this game is one of a kind for its unabashed embrace of the character's brutal nature. Unlike previous iterations that toned down the violence, Uncaged Edition unleashes Wolverine in all his feral glory. The graphics vividly render every action, from the trails of blood left by Wolverine's claws to the real-time healing of his battle wounds. This attention to detail in both visuals and gameplay mechanics makes it a standout title in the hack-and-slash genre, offering not just repetitive slashing but a deeply satisfying portrayal of one of Marvel's most beloved anti-heroes. It's the perfect mix of storyline depth and cutting-edge action that'll keep you engaged from start to finish. Strider rejuvenates the classic 1989 arcade hit with a fresh, fast-paced reboot perfect for the hack-and-slash aficionados. In this 2014 update, players slip into the high-tech boots of Hiryu, the elite assassin from the Strider organization, tasked with the critical mission of eliminating the despotic Grandmaster Mayo. Set against the sprawling urban backdrop of Kazakh City, the game weaves a narrative that combines the high stakes of a dystopian world with personal vendettas. The gameplay in Strider is a perfect mix of rapid platforming and intense combat, allowing players to explore Kazakh City's expansive and interlinked environments. As Strider Hiryu, you utilize the Cypher, a versatile plasma weapon that adapts and evolves by discovering upgrades scattered throughout the city. These upgrades enhance Hiryu's abilities, unlocking new moves and powers that keep the combat fresh and engaging. As a hack-and-slash game on the PS3, Strider excels due to its fluid combat system and dynamic movement mechanics. The freedom to traverse large open maps and the necessity to master a variety of weapon properties provides a deep, satisfying gameplay experience. The game's sharp graphics and responsive controls make every encounter thrilling, ensuring that whether you're slicing through enemies or navigating tricky platforms, the action remains crisp and exhilarating. Devil May Cry 4. Next up, we have Devil May Cry 4 that explores the tumultuous world of Fortuna, where the young demon hunter Nero embarks on a turbulent quest. The story kicks off dramatically as Nero witnesses Dante, the iconic demon hunter from previous installments, assassinate the leader of the Order of the Sword, a group that worships Nero's ancestor, the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, as a deity. Tasked with stopping Dante and unraveling a deep conspiracy within the Order, Nero discovers his own demonic heritage and confronts monsters monstrous challenges that question his very loyalties. As for the gameplay, players control both Nero and Dante, experiencing distinct combat styles with each character. Nero wields the Red Queen sword and the Blue Rose revolver, enhanced by his demonic Devil Bringer arm, which allows for devastating grabs and powerful attacks. On the other hand, Dante returns with his signature arsenal and multiple combat styles, enhancing the game's replayability with his adaptable fighting techniques. What sets Devil May Cry 4 apart is its cool combat system, where players can achieve higher grades in battles by chaining elaborate combos and avoiding damage. The introduction of the Exceed system for Nero and the style-switching mechanic for Dante allows players to tailor their combat experience, pushing the boundaries of tactical melee and ranged combat. With its high-octane action, visually stunning graphics, and a super catchy story of betrayal and power, Devil May Cry 4 not only satisfies longtime fans but also firmly welcomes newcomers to a beautifully brutal ballet of bullets and blades.
Come on, Elika!
Prince of Persia 2008. Prince of Persia is a visually stunning reboot of the classic series, transporting players to an ancient Persian realm of mystery and magic. The game introduces us to the unnamed protagonist, often referred to as the Prince, who finds himself in a strange land due to a massive sandstorm. Here, he meets Alika, a princess with mystical powers, and together they embark on a quest to re-imprison the malevolent deity Ahriman, who's corrupted the land after being accidentally released by Alika's father. The gameplay in Prince of Persia presents acrobatic exploration and fluid combat which is set within a beautifully crafted open world. The prince's acrobatic skills allow him to scale walls, swing from ledges, and even run across ceilings, which makes navigating the stunning environments a thrill in itself. The combat system is equally engaging, with the prince wielding a sword and a magical gauntlet, enhanced by Alika's powers to perform spectacular combo attacks against enemies. The game makes you feel like a total badass as you leap and slash your way through enemies. This seamless integration of combat and recovery transforms the typical hack-and-slash experience into something more dynamic and continuous. It's like the game's always pushing you to keep moving and improving. This version of Prince of Persia is a real treat on the PS3.
Take them down, guys!
Shank II. Shank II revs up the adrenaline from its predecessor with a thrilling continuation of its blood-soaked tale. After taking down cartel leader Caesar, Shank returns to a homeland thrown into chaos. General Magnus has seized power, declaring himself president and ruthlessly ruling the populace. The game kicks off with a dramatic twist as Shank's mentor, Elena, is kidnapped by Magnus's forces for a sinister heart transplant to save the ailing dictator. It's up to Shank to slice through the militia, rescue Elena, and dismantle another despot's regime. Coming to the gameplay in Shank II, it's a brutal and visually striking 2D side-scrolling hack-and-slash affair that builds on the solid foundation laid by the first game. Players dive into updated combat mechanics and more fluidity, and a broader range of weaponry, including clever uses of environmental objects like fish and cleavers. The addition of counterattacks adds something new, allowing Shank to turn enemy attacks against them, enhancing the strategic component of frenetic battles. This game's hack-and-slash elements are on point and thrives on the PS3. The introduction of a new two-player survival mode where players fend off waves of enemies while defending supply stations adds a cooperative thrill missing from the main story mode. The game's enhanced camera work allows for larger combat zones, giving players more room to maneuver and strategize in real time. Heavenly Sword. Heavenly Sword is a riveting action-adventure that thrusts players into the middle of an ancient drama with high stakes. The game revolves around Nariko, a fierce warrior wielding the legendary Heavenly Sword, a blade that once belonged to a deity and carries a deadly curse. It slowly kills its wielder. As Nariko, players battle to thwart the tyrant King Bohan, who seeks to harness the sword's power for his despotic ambitions. The gameplay of Heavenly Sword is a thrilling mix of dynamic hack-and-slash combat and intricate quick-time events that enhance cinematic sequences. Players control Nariko using fluid acrobatic combat moves to slice through armies of enemies with the Heavenly Sword's three forms: a balanced speed stance, a swift range stance, and a devastatingly powerful power stance. Each stance offers unique advantages and combos, suiting different playstyles and combat situations. Additionally, players get to experience portions of the game playing as Kai, Nariko's adopted sister, specializing in ranged attacks with a twist. Players use the PS3 6-axis controller to guide projectiles like arrows in flight, adding a layer of skill and interaction to sniping. Heavenly Sword rocks on the PS3 for its visually stunning animations and deep narrative that borrows elements from classic mythology, providing a strong emotional core to the action. The seamless integration of story and gameplay, along with the innovative use of the controller's motion sensing features, makes it not just a good hack-and-slash game, but a memorable experience that pushes the boundaries of its genre on the console.
Damned.
I ask forgiveness and mercy for those that I have wronged. What I did unknowingly. Yet I would change everything if I could.
He isn't listening, Gabriel. Your fate is fixed.
Every man has the power to repent.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Castlevania Lords of Shadow rebooted the classic series with a fresh narrative and deeper gameplay mechanics, solidifying its place as a standout hack-and-slash adventure on the PS3. Set in the dark and mystic landscapes of Middle Ages Southern Europe, the game follows the sorrow-driven journey of Gabriel Belmont, a member of the Brotherhood of Light, on his quest to defeat the Lords of Shadow and resurrect his deceased wife. The gameplay in Lords of Shadow is beautifully orchestrated with a mix of intense combat and clever puzzle solving that leverages the environment. Gabriel wields the versatile combat cross, which serves not just as a weapon but also as a tool for exploration, allowing players to swing across gaps, rappel down cliffs, and even scale walls. The game introduces a rich combat system with upgradable skills and magic abilities divided between light and shadow magic, enhancing defensive and offensive moves respectively. So, what makes Lords of Shadow a commendable hack-and-slash experience? Well, it's its ability to keep the essence of Castlevania intact while innovating on many fronts. The strategic use of the combat cross, combined with a dynamic camera system and beautifully rendered 3D environments, offers a fluid and engaging combat experience. Massive boss battles and the inclusion of mythical creatures like vampires and werewolves pay homage to the series' roots, while the addition of new enemies keeps the challenges fresh and exciting. Overall, Castlevania Lords of Shadow impresses with its cinematic quality and depth, offering both newcomers and series veterans a richly crafted world filled with peril, intrigue, and relentless action. Samurai Warriors 4 Empires. Samurai Warriors 4 goes far deep into the tumultuous Sengoku period, bringing back the thrilling hack-and-slash action that fans adore. The story unfolds across various regions and clans of feudal Japan, not focusing on individual warriors, but rather entire clans in their historical contexts. This offers a grander perspective of the era's complex battles and political maneuvers, similar to the approach seen in recent Dynasty Warriors titles. Now, to the gameplay. Samurai Warriors 4 has seen significant enhancements, introducing features like hyper attacks and rage mode. Hyper attacks allow players to sweep through enemies with lightning fast moves, although these attacks are less effective against bosses. Rage mode, on the other hand, temporarily boosts the player's strength and makes them invincible, adding a strategic layer to combat when facing overwhelming odds. The integration of a character switching feature means players can take two warriors into battle, switching on the fly to utilize each character's unique abilities and weapons effectively. The game shines on the PS3 with its refined mechanics and the extensive roster of characters, over 55 in total, each bringing their own distinct styles and weaponry to the battlefield. The expansive story mode and the addition of Chronicle mode, where players can customize their own warlord and journey through Japan, add considerable depth and replayability. As a hack-and-slash title on the PS3, it not only provides intense combat experiences, but also beautifully captures the essence of the Sengoku period through its detailed storytelling and vibrant action-packed gameplay. Whether you're strategizing over which character to deploy or slashing through armies, Samurai Warriors 4 remains a super cool addition to the series and a standout title in the hack-and-slash genre. Dragon's Dogma. Next up, we have Dragon's Dogma, which plunges you into the fantastical world of Grancis, taking on the role of the Arisen, customizable protagonist challenged with defeating a world-threatening dragon, Grigori. Your journey intertwines with deep conspiracies, engaging you in a quest filled with danger, mystery, and high stakes. It's an immersive tale of bravery against an ancient evil that harbors secrets impacting the entire realm. The gameplay is robust and dynamic, allowing a unique cocktail of exploration and real-time combat. Your adventures are bolstered by pawns, AI-controlled companions who aren't just battle fodder. They provide tactical advice and assist in combat, enhancing the strategic depth of encounters. The option to climb and grapple larger foes adds a thrilling layer to battles, offering visceral, up-close combat experiences against gigantic creatures. What sets it apart, though, as an exceptional hack-and-slash game for the PS3 is its fluid combat system and innovative pawn mechanic. Whether you're wielding magic or melee weapons, the combat feels responsive and impactful. The game's diverse class system allows players to tailor the Arisen and their pawns to specific specific playstyles, from direct melee brawlers to strategic magic users. This game's a standout title on the PS3 for its bold approach to combat and its rich, albeit occasionally criticized narrative depth.
Seriously? Dude. The hell?
Lollipop Chainsaw. Lollipop Chainsaw spins the tale of Juliet Starling, a zombie hunting cheerleader, on a mission to save her high school and the world from a zombie apocalypse that kicks off on her 18th birthday. After her boyfriend Nick is bitten by a zombie, Juliet saves him by magically keeping his head alive and hanging it from a belt as she battles the undead. The villain behind the chaos, Swan, unleashes 5 dark purveyors, each representing different music genres, to wreak havoc, tying the game's quirky humor and unique style to its combat mechanics. The gameplay in here is a vibrant, over-the-top hack-and-slash adventure where Juliet slashes through zombies with a chainsaw, capable of both melee attacks and ranged assaults. The game introduces unique mechanics like the sparkle hunting, multi-kill bonuses that reward you for stylishly decimating groups of zombies. Players can also use Nick's head in various combat scenarios, adding a humorous twist to the gruesome battles. The game's mix of combat, upgrades, and bizarre storyline creates a uniquely entertaining experience, setting it apart in the hack-and-slash genre. This game shines as a standout PS3 title, thanks to its cheeky humor, energetic gameplay, and visually engaging style that embraces the absurd. With a pulsating soundtrack and a relentless pace, Lollipop Chainsaw captures the heart of what makes hack-and-slash games so enjoyable, fun, frenzy, and of course, chainsaws. Dantes Inferno. Dantes Inferno takes you on a dark and thrilling ride into the depths of hell, based loosely on Dante Alighieri's epic poem. The game transforms Dante from a crusading knight into a tormented soul, seeking to save his beloved Beatrice from Lucifer's grasp. Armed with Death's Scythe and the holy powers of a mystical cross, players navigate through the 9 gruesome circles of hell. Each circle offers a unique, twisted reflection of a particular sin, from the lustful winds of the 2nd circle to the treacherous ice of the 9th. Gameplay in this game is a visceral hack-and-slash experience where each enemy requires a different strategy. From hordes of damned minions to towering, grotesque bosses, the combat's intense and satisfying, with a mix of light and heavy attacks, magical abilities, and the unique feature to absolve or punish souls, which impacts your abilities and upgrades. This moral choice system adds an intriguing layer to hacking through the legions of hell. Moreover, the game's use of quick time events and puzzles diversifies the action-packed gameplay, keeping players on their toes in both combat and navigation. The integration of mythological and historical figures as bosses and characters enriches the storyline, providing a compelling storyline drive as you descend further into the Inferno. It's not just for its fluid combat system, but also for its dramatic storytelling and adaptation of a classic literary work. Its darkly artistic interpretation of hell and its denizens makes every step of Dante's journey an unforgettable adventure. Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 takes players back into the expansive Star Wars universe. This sequel thrusts you into the boots of a clone of Starkiller, Darth Vader's secret apprentice, grappling with his own identity and seeking freedom from his dark origins. As Starkiller, you embark on a galactic journey, battling through legions of enemies and unraveling a deeper conspiracy against the backdrop of the looming galactic empire. The gameplay is a thrilling mix of intense combat and acrobatic prowess with the Force. Starkiller wields dual lightsabers, slicing through enemies and debris across various planets. The game enriches its combat with a refined combo system that integrates new Force powers like Mind Trick and Force Rage, adding layers to strategy in battles. Combat is visually spectacular, with a cinematic flair that immerses players deeply into its dynamic universe. Environmental puzzles and platforming elements also add variety, challenging players to think and act with the agility of a Jedi. The Force Unleashed 2 rocks as a hack-and-slash adventure on the PS3, delivering the fantasy of being a powerful Force wielder. Its high-powered action and the ability to decisively impact the story through choices keep players glued to the screen from start to finish. Despite critiques of its narrative and length, the game's impressive visuals, sound design, and core mechanics make it a standout title for fans of the genre and the Star Wars saga.
Until they get here. You think you're big time, Deadpool? You ain't shit. I've got dangerous friends. People who will end you. You're out of your league now.
Deadpool. Deadpool, the video game, kicks off with the Merc with a mouth coercing High Moon Studios into making the most over-the-top game ever, starring himself, of course. After hiring Nolan North as his voice actor in a typically unconventional way by blowing up the studio, Deadpool dives into the script, or rather doodles over it with a crayon to make it more exciting. His first mission: assassinate the corrupt media mogul Chance White. True to form, Deadpool turns a simple mission into a chaotic spectacle, complete with excessive explosions that blow the game's budget. The gameplay in Deadpool is both hack and slash and shooting, with Deadpool wielding both katanas and guns. The game stands out with its frequent fourth wall breaking commentary, offering players a mix of combat challenges and laugh-out-loud moments. Players can earn upgrade points to unlock new combos, enhancing Deadpool's ability to dish out damage in style. The action's fast-paced, with special moves like teleportation adding a strategic layer to the melee and range combat. Stealth segments offer a change of pace, allowing Deadpool to sneak up on enemies, or not so stealthily dispatch them, if he chooses. The storyline thickens as Deadpool finds himself amid a larger conspiracy involving Mr. Sinister and his army of clones. Joining forces with familiar faces from the X-Men, Deadpool's adventure is as much a fight for survival as it is a quest to ensure his favorite taco restaurant isn't destroyed in a global catastrophe. True to Deadpool style, the journey is packed with bizarre twists, gratuitous violence, and irreverent humor, making it a standout hack and slash experience on the PS3. Transformers Devastation. Transformers Devastation revs up with the Decepticons' latest wicked plot to cyberform Earth, turning it into a new Cybertron. The Autobots, led by Optimus Prime and accompanied by Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Wheeljack, and Grimlock, roll out to thwart their archenemy's nefarious plans. Starting in New York City, the Autobots clash with Megatron and his metal minions who have emerged from beneath the city, setting the stage for a metallic showdown of epic proportions. Gameplay here is a polished hack-and-slash adventure, masterfully crafted by Platinum Games, known for their work on games like Bayonetta. Players take control of one of 5 iconic Autobots, each equipped with their own melee weapons and the ability to switch into vehicle mode at will. Combat's dynamic and fluid, allowing players to execute dazzling combos with a mix of melee and ranged attacks. A standout feature is the focus mode, which, much like Bayonetta's Witch Time, slows down the action when a dodge is perfectly timed, opening enemies up for devastating counterattacks. If you're a die-hard Transformers fan or a newcomer looking for a solid action game on the PS3, this one's a go-to. Each Autobot also boasts a unique special ability and an overdrive attack, useful for when situations get dicey. The game spans 7 chapters filled with fast-paced missions and side challenges, encouraging replayability with rankings and upgrades. Credits collected from defeated foes can be spent on new moves, weapons, or tech enhancements, adding layers of depth and customization to the beat-em-up action.
To ensure they accomplish their tasks. In the battles that are to come.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3 catapults players into the heart of the Gundam universe, where epic battles unfold across the cosmos. Developed by Omega Force and published by Bandai Namco, this tactical action game merges the exhilarating hack-and-slash gameplay of the Dynasty Warriors series with the iconic mecha warfare of Gundam. In the game's plot, players find themselves amidst a conflict of galactic proportions as they face off against the tyrannical Lord Zane and his demonic allies, who seek to obtain the powerful artifact known as the Heart of Ankaria. With the fate of the universe hanging in the balance, a band of heroic resistance fighters rises to challenge Lord Zane's reign of terror. Gameplay delivers pulse-pounding action as players pilot the customizable mobile suits into battle. Drawing from the rich lore of the Gundam anime series, the game offers an extensive roster of characters and mobile suits, each with their own unique abilities and playstyles. Whether engaging in lightning-fast melee combat or unleashing devastating ranged attacks, players will find plenty of ways to vanquish their foes across dynamic battlefields. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3 really stands out on the PS3 as a top hack-and-slash game. It's all about the way it handles its combat. This game takes the classic high-energy combat of the Dynasty Warriors series and throws in the massive iconic mechs of the Gundam universe, creating a mashup that feels both fresh and exciting. What makes the combat in the game so gripping is the sheer scale and intensity. You're piloting these giant robots, each equipped with their own set of devastating abilities, and you're thrown into massive battlefields swarming with enemies. The game is all about slicing, dashing, and blasting your way through hordes of opponents, and there's a real sense of power and momentum as you clear the field with your Gundam, a total game changer on PS3.
You're dumped.
DMC 2013. DMC Devil May Cry introduces us to a grittier world where Dante, a young man with a mysterious past, finds out he's a Nephilim, half angel, half demon. Rocking an edgy new look and attitude, Dante's drawn into a brutal campaign against the demon overlord, Mundus, who not only rules the world but also kills Dante's mother and tormented his father. Teaming up with his estranged twin brother Virgil, Dante storms through the demon-infested layers of reality to avenge his family and free humanity from demonic control. The gameplay here is thrilling and fast-paced with inventive environmental navigation. Players get to slash, juggle and shoot through hordes of demonic enemies with Dante's iconic sword, Rebellion, and his dual pistols, Ebony and Ivory. The introduction of angel and demon modes allows Dante to whip around using angelic weapons or smash through defenses with demonic force. The dynamic combat system is jazzed up with a style meter that rewards stylish killing sprees with better grades and more orbs. Why does it rock on PS3? This reboot's a visual treat with its raw punk rock aesthetic, and honestly, it's a gameplay revolution in the hack and slash genre. The smoothness of combat mixed with a responsive control scheme makes every encounter an adrenaline-pumping experience. Although Dante's new look was controversial, the game stands out for its engaging mechanics and bold storyline twist, crafting a fresh identity that resonates with a modern gaming audience.
Button mashing motherfucker.
Afro Samurai. Afro Samurai slices onto the PS3 scene as an action-packed brawler that's a mix of stylish, cel-shaded animation and brutal hack-and-slash gameplay. The game dives deep into the dark, vengeful story of Afro Samurai, who's on a bloody path to avenge his father's murder by Justice, the previous #1. Armed with his sword and the coveted #2 headband, Afro cuts through anyone in his path to confront justice and claim peace by ending the headband's cursed legacy. The gameplay is both slicing and dicing, combined with an aesthetic that feels like you're controlling an anime. Developed with input from Monty, the combat system is accessible yet deep, focusing on strikes, kicks, and sword slashes. Strategic elements like the magic pendant, which slows down time, add layers to the straightforward slashing, allowing for spectacular special moves. There's even a quirky body part poker mechanic, where players aim to slice off specific body parts of enemies to collect cards and unlock achievements. This game stands out on the PS3 not just for its visual flair, but for its engaging combat that balances fast-paced action, making it welcoming for newcomers to the genre. Although the journey culminates in a twist that questions the cycle of violence Afro has been part of, the real joy comes from mastering the stylish combat and living the dramatic tale of revenge and realization. Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning. Next up, we have Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning, which spins the tale of the Fateless One, resurrected through the arcane Well of Souls, freeing from the woven destiny that ensnares all in Amalur. As you explore the vivid, danger-filled Phalanx, you'll plunge into a world teetering on the brink of destruction, challenging the dark forces to carve out a new fate. The game dazzles as a hack-and-slash adventure where customization reigns supreme. Choose from wielding mighty hammers to mystical chakrams as you engage in electrifying combat against a plethora of demonic creatures and challenging bosses. The gameplay is enriched with a deep progression system, where players can enhance their skills across 3 distinct trees: might, finesse, and sorcery, tailoring a combat style that's uniquely theirs. Amalur truly thrives in its Reckoning mode, a spectacle where time slows and enemies quiver at your might, allowing for devastating attacks that end in glorious cinematic finishes. This feature, coupled with the game's expansive world filled with lush landscapes and hidden dungeons, makes Reckoning a memorable entry in the action RPG genre on the PS3. The mix of fast-paced melee attacks and strategic magical combat forms an addictive gameplay loop that keeps you coming back for more. Whether it's crafting potent potions or forging legendary weapons, every element of Reckoning feels like it contributes to your personal journey through this richly crafted world. Odin Sphere, Leithrasier. Odin Sphere is a vibrant action RPG developed by Vanillaware, which dives into a fantastical realm inspired by Norse mythology and Shakespearean drama. The story unwraps across the magical continent of Erion, engulfed in a looming war over the apocalyptic crystallization cauldron. Players navigate through the intertwined tales of 5 distinct characters, each linked to the cataclysmic prophecy of Armageddon that threatens to obliterate their world. The gameplay in Odin Sphere is rich and fast-paced hack-and-slash combat with deep role-playing mechanics, all delivered through beautiful 2D 2D side-scrolling stages. Whether you're slicing through enemies or casting spells, each character's unique abilities and weapons, like the magical ciphers, make every encounter thrilling. The combat's intuitive yet complex, allowing for devastating combos and special attacks that feel satisfyingly impactful. Now coming to what sets Odin Sphere apart as a top-notch hack-and-slash game on the PS3, particularly in its remastered form Lithrasure, is the overhauled gameplay system that smoothens out many of the original's rough edges. This includes refined combat mechanics, enhanced graphics, and expanded environments that add new layers of depth and challenge. The game's visual style is a standout, with lush hand-drawn art that brings the world of Arion to life in a way that few other games can match.
Could be dangerous. Could totally suck. What do you say, bro? Join me. Let's see how far we can take this.
No more heroes, Heroes Paradise. No more heroes, Heroes Paradise slings players into the wild and bizarre world of Travis Touchdown, a quirky assassin wielding a beam katana with dreams of becoming the top hitman in the fictional city of Santa Destroy. Revving up on PlayStation 3 with enhanced visuals and smoother gameplay, this hack-and-slash adventure takes you on a brutal climb up the assassin ladder, where Travis must eliminate the top 10 ranked killers to claim the #1 spot. The game mixes high-octane action with a dash of dark humor and intense sword fights with an offbeat narrative. Gameplay in Heroes Paradise is an exhilarating combination of fast-paced combat and exploration. Travis navigates the city by foot or his trusty motorcycle, engaging in missions and taking on odd jobs to earn cash. This cash fuels his quirky lifestyle, letting him purchase new gear, outfits, and crucial upgrades for his beam katana. Combat straightforward but thrilling, relying on a mix of button mashing and timely responses to on-screen prompts for finishing moves and special attacks. The PlayStation Move integration adds an extra layer of immersion, letting players slash and hack with real-life gestures. With each victory, Travis can activate his dark side mode through a slot machine mechanic, adding a fun twist to battles by granting temporary special abilities. It's a must-play on PS3 for those who love their action with a side of eccentricity. Killer is Dead. Killer is Dead is a roller coaster of a hack-and-slash game developed by the quirky minds at Grasshopper Manufacture. Set in a not-so-distant future where cybernetic enhancements are the norm and the moon can be manipulated by dark forces, you play as Mondo Zapper, a dapper assassin with a cybernetic arm that doubles as a gun. Mondo works for the Bryan Execution Firm, a government-backed agency tasked with eliminating those infected by dark matter, a sinister force that turns humans into monstrous beings called wires. The gameplay is a stylish mix of swordplay and gun action, emphasizing fluid combat and combo chains. Mondo's main weapon is his katana, but his arm can transform into different types of guns, adding a strategic layer to battles. Dodging attacks at the right moment slows down time, allowing for devastating counterattacks. The game's divided into story missions, where you uncover more about the dark world and its characters, and side missions that challenge you to complete combat objectives under time pressure. One of the game's unique features is the Gigolo missions, where Mondo must charm women by gifting them and making eye contact, adding a bizarre yet amusing layer to his character's assassin lifestyle. This not only provides comic relief but also upgrades for Mondo's weaponry, crucial for the tougher battles ahead. This one thrives on its eclectic mix of high-paced action, surreal storytelling, and graphical superiority, making it a standout title in the hack-and-slash genre on the PS3.
What's going on?
Coming in hot with Splatterhouse that punches its way onto the scene as a gruesomely delightful beat-em-up game, bringing all the thrills of 80s horror flicks right into your living room on the PS3. The game has you stepping into the bloody boots of Rick, a college student turned unwilling hero, resurrected by the mysterious Terror Mask to save his girlfriend Jennifer from the horrors of West Mansion. The gameplay is brutal, with side-scrolling action and a healthy dose of platforming chaos, where Rick can punch, kick, and jump his way through a series of nightmarish creatures. Rick isn't just about fists and feet. He gets to wield weapons found around the mansion to keep up with the relentless action. You'll love the visceral satisfaction as Rick uses everything from cleavers to shotguns to make his way through the haunted halls. Each level is a linear fright fest of monsters, leading up to boss fights that are as unique as they are challenging, requiring more than just brute force to overcome. The game's checkpoint system means dying has a real penalty, adding to the tension and challenge, pushing you to master Rick's moveset and the environments. For fans of horror and action, Splatterhouse offers an unapologetically gory hack-and-slash experience on the PS3, wrapped up in a setting that's a love letter to classic horror tales and films. It's the perfect game for those who like their combat bloody and their adventures filled with adrenaline-pumping intensity. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan takes you to the streets of New York City, where chaos reigns thanks to the notorious Foot Clan. Playing as Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, or Raphael, you're thrust into an action-packed hack-and-slash adventure developed by the acclaimed Platinum Games and released by Activision. The gameplay is as vibrant as the turtles themselves, with a cel-shaded art style that pops right off the screen. Each turtle brings his own unique ninjutsu skills to the fight, from Leonardo's ability to slow down time to Michelangelo's cheerleading moves that reset his brother's skill cooldowns. The flexibility to switch between turtles on the fly in single player adds a dynamic layer to strategizing your path through the game's 9 varied stages. As you parkour and parachute across the city, collecting green orbs to enhance your abilities, the game keeps the adrenaline pumping. Whether you're playing solo or teaming up with friends in 4-player online co-op, you'll find yourself in intense brawls leading to showdowns with iconic bosses like Bebop, Rocksteady, and even the fearsome Shredder himself. Mutants in Manhattan gives us the ultimate hack-and-slash experience on the PS3 with its engaging combat system that encourages teamwork, strategic use of unique abilities, and mastering the art of combo attacks. Plus, you can resist a minigame that involves scarfing down pizza to get back in the fight. Lord of the Rings, War in the North. In the Lord of the Rings, War in the North, players go on a thrilling adventure through Middle-earth, aligned not with the main cast from the films, but with a trio of new heroes. These adventurers, Eridan the Ranger, Farin the Dwarf, and Andriel the Elf, tackle a critical mission running parallel to the well-known events of the Lord of the Rings. Their goal is to thwart the evil plans of the Black Númenórean, Agandor, who serve Sauron with a dark purpose, to bring destruction to the Northern Realms while the main forces of Middle-earth are distracted by the battles in Rohan and Gondor. Alright, now let's talk gameplay. Players choose from one of 3 characters: Eridan with his versatile combat techniques, Farin with his prowess in melee fighting, and Andriel with her magical abilities. The game's deeply immersive, thanks to its third-person perspective and the intense combat system that allows for a rich array of attacks, blocks, and critical strikes. Combat's designed to be engaging and dynamic. Players can execute light and heavy attacks, perform rolls, and block incoming hits. Strategic use of special abilities in the environment adds depth to battles. A notable feature is the ability to summon a great eagle for devastating attacks, though its use is wisely limited. Despite some criticisms about its repetitive combat and the occasional bug, War in the North remains a commendable effort within the Lord of the Rings universe, particularly praised for its ambitious storytelling and the rich atmospheric setting that faithfully captures the essence of Middle-earth. A perfect go-to game for the hack-and-slash fans. Sacred 3. Sacred 3 throws players into the thick of battle in the fantasy realm of Ancaria, where an oppressive overlord, Zaynashen, has joined forces with demons to seize a powerful artifact, the Heart of Ancaria. Long forgotten, the Seraphim, once guardians of this sacred heart, set the stage for a group of resistance heroes determined to thwart Lord Zayn's dark ambitions. Players can choose from a fresh roster of classes like the Saphiri Warrior and Ancarian Lancer, each bringing unique abilities to the mix. The game encourages teamwork, limiting the number of abilities each hero can equip to balance the team's power and promote strategic combinations of skills for more effective combat. Sacred 3 kinda excelled in delivering fast-paced, action-packed combat sequences set in beautifully returned environments from the series, such as Castle Brave Rock. Up to 4 players can join forces, sharing the thrill of battling through hordes of enemies and leveraging the combined abilities to perform powerful team attacks. This setup makes Sacred 3 a particularly entertaining choice for players looking for a dynamic cooperative gaming experience on the PS3, where teamwork truly makes the dream work in the quest to save Ancaria from demonic rule. And with that, we come to the very end of the video. We've just taken a whirlwind tour through the top 32 hack-and-slash games that define the PlayStation 3 era. From the dark and brooding landscapes of God of War to the lightning-fast strikes of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, these titles not only pushed the boundaries of what the PS3 could do, but also carved a permanent place in our gaming hearts. So, dust off that old PS3, grab your favorite controller, and revisit these classics, because the real magic of hack-and-slash never truly fades away. Happy gaming, and may your adventures continue to be as epic as the legends of the PS3. Remember to smash that like button and drop a comment below so we know which one you like the best from today's list. Oh, and hit subscribe so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for more exciting content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.